Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Warships Legends. My name is Spartan Elite 43 and tonight I thought we'd go back, get away from all of the meet does and stuff and go back to something a little bit more familiar. We are in the Lightning. Now, we've been running a lot of destroyers lately, expanding my game, you know. A lot of folks know that I'm the battleship guy, but I like to run everything. I like to run cruisers, I like to run battleships, I like to run destroyers, because they all have their own unique game style, or gameplay style, and even between the different nations, they all have their own unique gameplay. So, I like to experience all of it. So, that being said, let's get this party started. Now, first thing you're going to notice, it's a domination match on Trident. And there are only one destroyer per team. I attribute this to the fact that there are a lot more cruiser players lately. And that's a good thing. It brings balance to the game. It really does. It means that you're not getting these games where it's all battleships and all destroyers and you have 4 destroyers and the rest are battleships. Like, that is fun to a point, but it also gets really stale. Whereas if you have cruisers and you have battleships and you have destroyers, it just means you have to pay a little bit more attention for everything. That being said, we are in for a treat for this match. Because we only have one destroyer on each team, it means teams tend to be a little bit more relaxed. And when people forget about destroyers, they tend to have bad days. And we are going to make sure that the enemy has a bad day. That's just how this works. So right off the bat, we see a Belfast, and he's smoking up. But he's getting dumped on pretty hardcore. We send our torpedoes right into that smoke screen, just in case he sits in it. You know, because British destroyers or British freaking cruisers would never just sit inside a smoke screen, firing their guns, and accidentally sail outside of the smoke screen and get themselves all beat up, right? They wouldn't do that. Surely this guy isn't just going to sit in his smoke screen while being detected by a radar. Well, I say radar, but it's actually not radar. It's the sonar of the German cruiser that just went by us. Remember, German sonar is disgustingly good. But Belfast goes around the corner. He thinks he's pretty safe, except he's not, because I can hit a superstructure somewhat. And while he's on fire, these will eventually add up. 500 damage here, 500 damage there, and he's still burning. And sure enough, we get the kill. First kill of the game. Very short end of the match, and 6,700 damage. Now, we get away from that, and there's this Bart, who's just happily sailing around out here getting ready to try to make people miserable, right? That's what Barts do. They try to make people miserable. So I prioritize them when I'm in a destroyer, mainly because they are always predictable. It's very easy to tell what a Bart's going to do most of the time. And they don't really go out and do things against the script. It's kind of like the old Iowas. Okay, a lot of Iowa players have changed what they do. I won't take credit for that, but I do appreciate that more Iowas are not just sitting in the back. They still get the occasional that just hasn't learned. But you can use your battleship as the front runner on your team. You just have to use your head. You can't go blindly sailing. Oh my god. That escalated quickly. How you doing? Yeah, you've now officially not had a good day. We've taken half your health. You gotta love that. Now this Tirpitz is like, oh my god, this guy just got torped real hard. I don't want to do anything like that. I'm gonna change what I'm doing. Except he has no idea where I'm at. And I'm already ahead of him. Literally. And now you're gonna watch me be patient. This is something that I've had to learn as a destroyer player. I used to just throw my torpedoes every 5 seconds. Every time a torpedo was loaded, it was in the water. And you miss a lot of torpedoes that way. However, if you just wait a little bit, people will make your job so much easier. And that is the part that I have learned. Patience. The ability to do just enough to keep the enemy guessing what you're going to do next. Because they will play right into your hands, like this Tirpitz is about to. He put an island between me and him. And he also made sure that I have the ability to throw those torpedoes, and he's going to sail right around the corner, right into them. Why? Because he did this to himself. Yeah. Also, can I just note 6 hits and 6 floods? That's all I'm saying. You know, but remember, kids, it's a chance to cause flooding with torpedoes. Yeah, it's a 100% chance, 99% of the time. Anyway, Spartan, that makes absolutely no sense. I know, but that's why it's so awesome. We're up to 100,000 damage. There's still a lot of game to be played out here. But don't worry, guys. This isn't all about me just farming the enemy team. I'm going to make some mistakes. Believe that. It's going to be a thing. And I will demonstrate how arrogance in a destroyer can put you into a pickle. A big pickle. Also, this Charles Martel has the situational awareness of an absolute snail. Like, I don't know where he thought this was coming from, but he was incorrect on his assumption. He's just sitting there. Has no idea that we just torped everybody behind him, and, you know, now we are just running rampant. And by sitting there, he's just begging for what's coming. But notice the position of these 3 battleships currently. These 3 battleships are feeding right into my hands, with the exception of this one guy that's heading directly towards us and now turning slightly away from us. Now, I have an out right now. I do. It may not seem like it, but I do have an out. And that is the island to my right. I could turn right, sail around the island, get behind the last battleship that is actually becoming a threat right now, and, oh my god, Charles Martel, what have you done? Ah! We only got 1 hit! No! He stayed so perfectly still that we didn't even assume that he would. Darn it! Of all the times we have just played ourselves. Speaking of playing ourselves, oh my god, we are detected. Why? Because the Jean Bart that we were stalking finally just decided I'm going to throw it in reverse, and I'm in a bad spot. This is bad. But I could still save this, guys. I really could. I'm in between 3 battleships and a cruiser who can absolutely wreck me, but I can still save this, guys. I'm Superman. Everybody knows it, right? Everybody knows that I'm the best destroyer captain on the planet, which is why I'm staying right here in the fight. And oh my god, Jean Bart, how do you like that? Yeah, another 4 hits and another 4 floods because, again, there's only a chance to cause flooding, which is why we currently have 15 hits and 15 floods in this match. Am I right? Also, Jean Bart is flooding, and he's hurt. Charles Martel has no health, and we are going to touch him because Charles Martel needs to die. Okay? So that's what we're going to try to do. He has no health. We fire our guns, knowing we're going to be detected, but figuring it's a good risk because we eliminate the cruiser. Or at least one of them. The other one's so far away that he can't actually do anything. Now here, once again, I have all day to go, okay, we're in a bad spot. It's fine, I'm about to get my smoke back. I'm already disappeared from the battleships. As long as I don't do something stupid, I can still play games with these guys. They're battleships. They have absolutely no way of detecting me unless I do something incredibly stupid. Can you see where this is going? I am now sailing directly into the path of 3 battleships. I only have 3,500 health left. Don't tell me I'm about to fire my guns again. Come on, surely I will hit one of these torpedoes. He didn't just guess. Now, I just threw these ones out here. You saw it. I just threw them out there because I'm like, okay, maybe we'll catch him. And unfortunately, we get very, very close, but no cigars. And that leaves me in the pickle of, oh my god, Colorado stopped, and the guy to my right has stopped. And now the Jean Bart is turning towards me, and I am in between 3 people who can absolutely wreck me and are waiting to wreck me the moment I get detected. I'm in trouble. Okay, well, let's do what we gotta do. Surely this Colorado's gonna just eat every one of these. So we'll just throw those out there. We don't want to fire at that guy because he's got too much health. We are trying to smoke up and unfortunately take a nasty hit and get hit again. So that's not preferable. Come on, stop. Stop, Spartan. There you go. Get into your smoke screen. Quick. Stop playing around. And come on. Okay, so Jean-Bart is pushing towards us, and at this point, he has to know that I have no torpedoes, right? He's like, oh my god, this guy just fired his torpedoes at the Colorado. We are fine. Except I didn't. I did fire torpedoes at the Colorado, but I didn't fire all of my torpedoes at the Colorado, and that's a very big distinction. And so I switched to wide view, anticipating as soon as me getting spotted, I'm going to get obliterated because I want to get all of the torpedoes in the water. Why? Because I anticipate that it's going to take at least 2 of them to kill him. And I want to make sure that I actually kill him because the Jean-Bart is the biggest threat that is left on the enemy team. And if we can pull that off, which we did, giving us our 4th kill, we got 1 torpedo. Again, I thought it was going to take 2, but we ended up hitting him with 1 and killing him, leaving us with 171,000 damage done. That's an insane game for a destroyer. And it's a fun match. It was energetic. We weren't being, completely, trolled. But here's the thing. This game ain't over, guys. Because we got rid of the Jean-Bart, that leaves a Colorado, a Vanguard, and a Hipper versus a Jean-Bart and an Iowa. That's a fun matchup, isn't it? Wait for it. Hello, Colorado. Oh, we are spamming high explosive in a Jean-Bart with a broadside frickin' Colorado. And his secondaries actually are the ones that finish him off. I guess it's just too much, right? There's a Colorado broadside in front of you. You have the best armor piercing in the game because obviously, the American armor piercings. First of all, Russian camo on an American Iowa is blasphemy. But it does look good. So, I approve. Anyway, Vanguard is now versing an Iowa and a Jean-Bart. The Iowa doing the proper thing of firing armor piercing, and you see how effective that is. Taking a nice chunk from the Vanguard, who is also firing armor piercing. But, I mean, he had a broadside Iowa, so you take it. A lot of times that ends up in your favor. But Jean-Bart sets a fire here with his high explosive. Vanguard is healing, so he's trying to get away from that. Now we are bow tanking the Vanguard. We fire our armor piercing again, and yes. Ouch. That is the difference between high explosive and armor piercing. Iowa fires armor piercing, takes all of the health. Jean-Bart fires high explosive and doesn't. Giving the Iowa one more chance. Is he going to burn to death? Ah, that's unfortunate. We'll see, Spartan. Damage over time. It's a thing. Yes. Yeah, whatever. I like big numbers. And now the Iowa is in the perfect position to win the game by killing the Hipper. Or throw the game by dying to the Hipper, because we currently have the lead. He has to do nothing here. Sail away. There is no reason to engage a Hipper inside of torpedo range. It's just not a good idea. Especially in a 900-foot long ship that has basically no torpedo reduction and doesn't turn very well. So he does the right thing. He turns away. He's like, screw this. I'm going to put some distance between me and those torpedoes. And then the dummy behind the island in the Hipper fires his guns, giving his position away to an Iowa and, a Jean-Bart. Jean-Bart still spamming high explosive, going for that damage over time. I would like to see who's going to have the more XP at the end of this match, the Iowa or the Jean-Bart. It's going to be an interesting one. I'm going to vote for me, first of all. 4 kills, 16 torpedo hits, all the spotting that I did for the entire match. and then the ultimate pickle at the end because I'm a dummy. Sometimes you gotta learn to disengage. Know when you're putting yourself in a bad position and disengage. Much like the Iowa did here. Play to yourself. Play to your strengths. Don't put yourself in a position to be in a bad position. But you gotta balance that with aggression, too. You can't just sit in the back of the map. Doing so puts your team at a disadvantage, and also you at a disadvantage. And you can see, this Hipper is no slouch. 203mm armor piercing, and I don't know why I'm not looking at the Hipper, but it could just be that I'm really, really digging this camo on this Iowa. Just putting that out there. Also, this game is over. We didn't kill the Hipper, unfortunately, but we did win the match, and that's what matters. 171,000 damage, 16 torp hits, and 16 floods. Because, you know, it's only a chance to cause flooding, guys. High caliber, it's just a flesh wound, devastating strike, first blood, all the medals, all of the goods, and not bad. So if you like what I'm doing, punch the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.